We've seen her on Grey's Anatomy, Mayans, MC, Jane the Virgin, Ada, Luz Pla. And now, Ada, nice to have you with us. I know we're socially separated, but it's so nice to meet you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I know it's a trying time, but God's got us.
It's the new normal, and it's such a pleasure to meet you. I see you in so many projects. You're a very, very busy lady. What do you think it is about what you do that makes you work so much? Is it that you're just constantly on it?
I think what it is that I'm ready. I'm ready. I took a little hiatus, and I'm not gonna say hiatus because I've always, worked to raise the babies, and now that they're in their teens and they're self-sufficient and they can pretty much take care of themselves, and I got their blessings. I just, they said, Mom, go ahead and do what you love. You'll be happier.
Don't you love getting that affirmation from your children? Because really you do dedicate your life to your family and to your children. And it's a blessing to have that in your life, because it rounds you out. You become a real person, as opposed to just being a consistent, person who all they do is work and they don't think about anything else or anybody.
Right.
It's got to really enrich your what you do as a performer and as an artist.
Yeah. It does. It's balance. You have to have balance. Too much of something is no good, and not enough of something is not good either. So for me, it's always been God, family, work, humanity in that order, and that's never going to change.
As I was kind of going through your career, you have a long IMDb. It's amazing how much work you've done. But also what surprised me is that there's Cuban, there's Puerto Rican, and there's Dominican. Which one do you pick of the three in your life?
I'm the trifecta. I grew up in a household that was more Puerto Rican and Dominican than Cuban, but every now and then, I meet up with that side of the family as well. Not as I wasn't raised a Cuban, although I do have Cuban blood. But it's there, so I have to pay homage to that as well. But I'm more, I identify being more Puerto Rican and Dominican than anything else. And human, New Yorker.
Yeah, what do you know? I asked that question for a reason, because a lot of the roles that are out there in film and TV are Mexican American. So that's my heritage. I'm an American of Mexican descent. So all of my frame of reference is mariachis, tacos, the way that we are as Mexican people. It's in the Mexican
right.
Way different than the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans.
Yeah.
So have you learned to adapt that when your characters come up?
No, yeah, it's funny because I always say, I'm Puerto Rican, Dominican, and Cuban, but I play a Mexican on television, or Salvadoreña or Guatemalan. Those are the roles that I'm usually, called for. And I love it, for me, what's important is to pay homage to the culture, and to make sure that I do my research, and to make sure that I am that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing as an actor. I have many of my Mexican sisters and my Guatemalan sisters and my Salvadoreñas that I'm like, okay, pupusas or tacos, which one?
Yeah.
And they do the same. It's funny because some of my Mexican friends, all they play are Puerto Ricans, or other roles. Meanwhile, I'm Puerto Rican and I don't get called to play Puerto Rican. I get called to play, but we take care of one another. We make sure, some of my girlfriends, when they have auditions, so is it ball or ball? And I'm like, it's ball.
So I'm really curious about your name. I'm sorry to get so personal with you. Okay, Ada Luz Pla.
Ada Luz Pla.
Ada Luz Pla. Did they just forget to add a TA to Plata? Or
Plata.
Tell me about your name, because that's a really interesting name.
Who knows? They say that it's from Catalan, from a place in Spain that's Catalonia. It's from my Cuban side. But, my real name is Ada Luz Pla Velez. But okay. It was just too much, so I just cut down the Velez, but it's Plata, it's Pla. Yeah. I've always wondered if it was shortened, because they did that in those days. They would shorten the names. Who knows? But Pla is a pretty pretty common name in Cuba, and it's a pretty common name in a place called Catalan, in Spain. So
I'm glad I asked. See, I learned something new. So where can we see you now? What are you working on right now? What can we watch?
So I'm on my block. Right, especially now, we can Netflix and chill and watch, all 3 seasons of On My Block. It's a really great, funny, because it does have On My Block is a dramedy with really poignant moments that really tug at you. So I play a drug lord, a queen pin, which I loved. And the reason I had so much fun playing this role.
Sure.
As a Latina, as a woman, we never get to play these roles. Very rarely do we get to play these roles. So to have an opportunity to play somebody that was like, a Griselda Blanco, which is really, really fun,
Yeah. So how can we reach you on social media? What are your handles? Where can we contact you?
Luz Pla -Williams. I know. I just have all these last names.
Williams.
So that's my married name, Luz Pla Williams, across the board, so,
Well, Ada Luz, it's been really great talking to you. Really enjoyed it, and wish you the very best. And I have to applaud you, because one of my favorite shows is Jane the Virgin, and that show was breakthrough. I loved it.
I loved it. What was so interesting about that role, really quickly, is that it was the first time that I was in a room filled of women, number one, both in front of the camera and behind the camera, but with a room full of Latinas working together and not vying for the same role in an audition room. And it was just, okay, so we're getting there. Yeah. And that was special.
Well, congratulations on your success. It was a pleasure meeting you. Hopefully we'll get to see each other in person next time around. But thanks so much for being with us on Carlos and Lisa.
Gracias. El honor es mío. Okay. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.